So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Hey.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
My mic sounds nice. What about yours?
It sounds just wonderful.
My mic sounds
Wonderful.
It's the remix, baby. Hey, and welcome to another episode of the LaTangela Show podcast. Now, you know, there's no secret. You walk past the glass, I shall harass. Well, today, I may have messed up, right?
Amen.
This has turned into a family reunion. We have been attempting to record this interview for the last 6 hours. And we've been in here working. We've been in here programming. We have been in here networking and putting everything around us to work. And now we have more family fun-filled field trips on the way.
Yes, we do.
You know it. Today in the hot seat on the tan line, we have none other than a community favorite. He is no stranger to the hot seat, but it is his first field trip to the tan line. Travis Dabney. Now I got to put a handle on that, right?
Yes.
Because he's not just Travis Dabney. He is the go-to. He is the forerunner of the team, and he puts the city on his shoulders and makes sure that we are well protected. And of course, he does that day-to-day as well as the security operations manager for the beautiful LaBerge.
Thank you so much, Tangela. I'm real happy to be here. And like I said, I always tell my staff, it's always a team effort. And if you can't do it without your team, you can't achieve this with nobody else. So I'm glad to be a part of the Tangela Show. It's not a hot seat for me. This actually just a seat. So we want to get this ball rolling.
That's it. You know it. And major props going out to Jonathan because he is the brave soul in the building today. He had absolutely no idea what was going on when he walked in here with you. I'm going to teach you today. You got to ask Travis questions before you just jump in the ride and say, okay, I'm going to go. Right? Because if he's going somewhere, he is going to put in that work. So it's never a daycation. It's always a day on.
Yes, correct.
You have been known to be a hard worker. And I know that Very Humble Beginnings has brought you to a space where you appreciate every single blessing that has even come across in the forms of lessons, right? Before you were the security operations manager of LaBerge, I've known him since middle school. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about we know each other. This is family. CMS, green and orange. That's us, right? Travis, tell us a little bit about where you're from and how was it that you knew that you wanted this to be a pathway versus just a hobby?
Well, thank you again, Tangela, for having me. I started this business in 2006. What a lot of people don't know about me, and if you really knew, I was a butcher at a grocery store called Ancona's Stop and Save Grocery. And they helped me put the pathway onto my career to where I'm at right now. And I started the casino business like in 2006 as a regular security officer down the road at the other property. Mm-hmm. And I always tell people, man, if you want to do something, you stick to it. Right. It was a lot of bumps. It was a lot of falls. It was a lot of hiccups. It was all kinds of things. But I knew that this is something that I wanted to do, and I stepped with it. I transferred to LaBerge, Baton Rouge back in 2012, and I just hit the ground running. I knew that I wanted to be in a position that I wanted to be in a leadership role. And a lot of people looking like, oh, you didn't go to college and nothing like that. And one thing I want to tell everybody, like, not knocking anybody that went to college. You don't have to go to college to be successful, right? You find your dream, you find something that you enjoy doing, and you stick with it, and that's what I did. I worked every position they had there. I worked security officer, security lead, security supervisor, security assistant manager, and security shift manager. Now I have the opportunity of being the operation manager of the property. Right. So hard work and dedication, it goes a long way, and it plays off. But I always believe in just giving back and just helping people out. And if people can see that mirror of you and what the environment that you come from, I went to one of the best high schools in the background, McKinley, the Capital High School, that we all back taking up. We're so excited that East Baton Rouge Parish have taken us back over. And just a high school diploma, graduated from Capital High School. And I turned what people thought was a mess into success. So don't be judgmental to what people think that you can't do and limit your ways of things. Always think outside the box, man. And God has blessed me around so many positive people, including the one to my right here. I'm not going to tell our age, but we go back for some years.
I'm legal. I can get through the front door. He no longer has to sneak me in.
Right. So, you surround yourself around positive people all the time. And that's what gets you where you at, man. You're going to have those people that's going to criticize you.
Yeah.
Some of the people that I hung with, that hung different. Some people brag different, man. And another thing what I learned is sometimes people want you to see do better, but not better than them. But you have to realize to where your friends at and know who that you need to support at the time. Because no matter what, my phone is always ringing.
Yeah.
I'm always going to answer it. And then like the song say, I'm one phone call away just to helping out. So anything I can do to help out just the people that look like me, just to help them, to give them that hope to understand, man, it's always a great effort.
And I don't want to just breeze through any of that, right? Because there are so many different hats that you do wear, not just for work, because your character goes with you throughout all of the titles, all of these journeys, throughout every single phase of it,
right.
And to know who you're dealing with, that's important. You're dealing with a team that is dependent upon your leadership, and you want to make sure that you're doing what's right, what's just, what's fair, and that's going to reflect the bigger entity, right? And even when we say bigger entities, people may think of it as a company, but when I think of it that way, I'm a reflection, and I am just a vessel, and I am doing what God has assigned me to do in this season. So wherever we are, you have to be vigilant in that assignment. And you have always been a man of character. We know who we're dealing with when we're dealing with Travis Dabney. You know what you're going to get when you're dealing with Travis Dabney, right? No questions about it. In your position, you come across a lot of different, personalities. Let's say that. Personalities. How is it that on your job, because sometimes people get overwhelmed and you're not allowed to have a bad day. God forbid you're human, someone on the job right now, they very well may need to hear, how do they balance that? How do you unplug to tap in?
You have to surround yourself on a positive team. You got to have a positive team that work upon you. And the number one thing, what I come to be successful in this business, you have to delegate. Meaning that you cannot take all the responsibility and want to be that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to want to do this here. You have to know when your cup is running over to be able to realize, like, I need to post something in somebody else's cup to be able to have them to understand it. And that's what I have. I mean, not only my work life, my everyday life too as well.
Yeah.
When I know my cup is full, I know how to share my cup with somebody else to let them deal with it. And that's what you have to do. Surround yourself around positive people that you can trust into this business and to be successful into the role. And you can't let it, get to you, right? I always tell people all the time, man, when the last time words put you in the hospital when somebody cursed you out, right? I don't think I got a doctor bill from a doctor because somebody called me ugly and say he go $500. So words don't hurt me, or words don't describe the person, who I am. It's simple. If I'm not that person not having a great day, maybe they might having a great day of talking to somebody else on your staff. You come to just walk away and let them deal with it. Then 9 out of 10, I promise you, most guys comes back and say, man, thank you for what you did for me, right? Because I didn't decide to get out of character. But you have to know when your cup is full, right? And be able to share that cup with somebody else. The thing I think about most people is when their cup is full, they still want to drink to it. And when you drink to it, you spills, and spills cause mistakes. So you got to take that cup and pour it in somebody else's cup and make them able to work and delegate their responsibility for them too as well, all to be successul.
That's good, boy, to delegate. How about that? Let me tell you something. Get out of my business. You ain't got to talk about me like that. Leave me alone, Travis. Leave me alone. But that's important, and those are the reminders that we need to hear. People are out here living real life and balancing real situations, and everybody is just one decision away. Whether it's a good decision or a not so good situation, everybody is just one decision away, right? And knowing that I believe representation matters. When they walk in and they meet a Travis Dabney and see, oh, wait a minute, what do you mean? He's the security operations manager. He's young. He's an African-American male from Baton Rouge. And, if you start calling out zip codes, they've already deemed us as the lost generation. Like, come on now, don't do us that. You have those who are making headline news for all of the right reasons, and you serve as an inspiration. But recently, he invited me to LaBerge. Now, I'm not a good gambler. I take $20 in. If I lose that $20 for the rest of the month, I'll tell you what I cannot afford because I lost that 20. LaBerge, they have so many different things that will highlight reasons that you can just get out, make it a daycation, a staycation, from the beautiful rooms to the culture that they built, from those who treat you well from the time you walk in to the time you leave. But I was invited, and I had the best date ever. I met this little 8-year-old boy. We were there for the line for line banquet. And I was like, sir, are you here for the banquet? He said, I am. Are you? I said, I am. So I sat at his table, had the opportunity to sit back and see my friends in a different light. Knowing that Travis is the security operations manager for LaBerge, he understands that the premises he stands on, he wanted to show and share that experience because that's a highlight for those who go to work every single day. They can come in and we book the nicest events here. For that line for line banquet for them babies, it had to be top notch, and it was. I was like, man, I need to hang out with these kids more often. You know, you and O'Neal and Jimmy, y'all rolled out the red carpet. Tell us a little bit about exposure and why it's so important that you pour back in, not just to the families and those who come out to experience a great time, but to show them that we are here in the community as a reflection and as a vessel.
I think most people, it's like you go to a buffet, right? If you go on a buffet line and you see the food, we eat with our eyes, right? And you see if it look all dried out and like, oh, this is not gonna look good. That's how kids see us. They see how we are. We are who they see. If they see someone dressed up and giving a positive role model, they want to have their mind frame to be just like that.
Yeah.
Right? So we have to lead by example to let them know, like, hey, look, you can wear the Jordans, you can wear the Nikes, you can wear the polo shirt and still be successful into this area. Regardless, like you hit on earlier when they indicated about the 708, the 702, 705 zip code. You look at statistics, they thinking that you're not supposed to be successful now. You have to flip that script and say, you know what? I'm going to prove those wrong.
Yeah.
And this is just the beginning of some of the things that not only we do with everybody that's in the community and that's advocating, that's actually in the community doing, but you got to get them to give them that image. But people always say, you put a mirror in front of them and have them have an image to look up to say, you know what? I can do this here.
Yeah. And be obtainable.
And that's the number one thing, because sometimes some kids don't have that when they go home. Some of them just, when they go home, they just have just the teacher to talk to. That's only 8 hours, right? We give them that extra space to feel like they can come and talk to somebody. Or they might have that next meal where they coming from, right? They eat just at school. We never know that unless these kids get a dialogue. I mean, a lot of people, they don't feel comfortable in talking to you if you don't look exactly like them, right? Because they feel that you haven't experienced what they've experienced to go through. So when you get in somebody that looks like you and actually dress just like you, they open up to you more, and then you'll be able to dialogue to understand what those kids are going through or what they have done to as well in this challenging world. Because how we always say again, Tangent, they don't expect us to make it out this area code. We only celebrate when somebody getting killed or somehow. We only see our loved ones when we go to a funeral. We need to celebrate every day about life, and anytime you wake up is always a blessing just to be alive anyway, or just to wake up.
It is indeed. And with the nonprofit that you all have, tell us a little bit about Line for Line, the team, how did it even come about, and how can we get involved?
All right, so Line for Line started about 9 years ago, and I was just a regular person. I'm sitting in the barbershop. O'Neal, at O'Neal's barbershop, he came up with the program.
What up, O'Neal?
And I was like, Line for Line. And when you think about it, like the kids read a book. They read a line and they get a line. They get a free haircut. And I was one of the person that sponsor all the meals for the kids, because I was like, man, I know when I was younger, when I get out of school, I'm starving. Like that meal didn't do me no good. Yeah. So I'm having like real food, for the kids. After about 2 or 3 years, Neil decided to step it up a little more and asked me to be the vice president on the board, which I kindly accept that position too as well, because it's not about the image, it's not about the title, it's just about what you're doing. I don't care about the camera. And not only that, he asked me, after 2 or 3 years, I got promoted to the board president of the board. But we go out into these schools, into the East Baton Rouge Parish schools, and we do our monthly program and help these kids. And we're so much involved in the community, and they understand it because we're Black young men that look just like them, and they think that's cool, right? They think that's cool. We have our dress codes on, we dress clean, and they want to be like that. They want to be successful, and we tell them that reading is fundamental. You got to be able to read to be successful. A couple of years ago, we went to a school, and this kid had to been in the 4th grade, and he probably had a haircut in almost about 3 or 4 months. The shoes weren't in the best condition, ever. And he'd read like on a 6th grade level. And I went and pulled the principal to the side, like, hey, what's going on? And you never know. He wasn't talking to anybody, and we knew that we had to step in to make this kid, different. What we did is we went to Walmart. We brought a whole bunch of shoes from Walmart. We brought a whole bunch of uniform shirts from Walmart. We put together, and we came back. He already had a fresh haircut, went in the bathroom, and he hugged us and said, thank you. And we did a follow-up. And now he's mingling with all his peers, his teachers. He's talking to everybody. Yeah. So you never know the difference that you can make into a child. He had a fresh haircut, brand new shoes, brand new school uniform, and it changed his whole identity of how he was just stuck in that circuit, thought that he didn't have anybody.
And imagine what they did for his family. And to know that someone else cares enough to help us in our time of need.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. It's about helping each other, man. It's not about the image. It's not about how much money you got. It's about people coming together, right? It's coming together and working together to make this industry work, man, because times are just so challenging. And I can tell you, me coming up, we didn't have these resources. We had them. I was a part of the Big Buddy program, who I love so much, and shout out to Miss Gay over at the Big Buddy program, who I sit on the board with her as well. But we had these programs like that to help us get out of trouble. It's more programs to help you to challenge yourself, to get you in different levels. And a lot of people, and like I stated again, I won't define the part about college. If you find something that you like, a trade, you stick to it. You stick to it.
Be committed to it.
Yeah.
You know, we have so many people that have these desires, but their desire to stay committed is just like, come on, man. You got to help us help you.
You got to have that focus point, right? And then one thing, you got to surround yourself around positive people, because if you don't surround yourself around positive people and you try to make the right choice, you're going to continue to make these bad apples, or you're going to continue to get pulled by the limb, or you're going to continue for they can say, well, I don't think you need to do this here, or I don't think you need to, do that. Surround yourself around positive people, man. Right. You have positive results. And in this position, it's having always been, great for me. I didn't fail. But I learned after you fall so many times, you learn not to win bad names no more. You learn to just wipe it off and get back up and start all over
but
again.
You got to get back up.
You got to get back up. You can't let it keep you down.
Get back in the game. It's me. Let me in.
You tell that coach and say, look, put me back in, coach. I'm ready.
Even if you got to do it with tears in your eyes. Travis, people don't understand that every day may not be the best day, but every day is a good day to give it a great effort.
Yeah.
And we have to get to that point to where we got to stop letting people beat us down. We got to stop letting situations beat us down, but we got to get out of our own way too.
Yeah.
We really do. And I love the fact that you all take the things that you all have worked so hard for, and you create these resources and avenues for these children, but not just them, but wraparound services for their families. Even today, we're in here just chopping it up, chatting, and God will plug and play because you've already put in the work. So now the plan that you have, and you're trying to figure it out, where do we go, what do we do? Well, no, you've already worked on that. The vision was given to you. You have been responsible with the platform. So now it's time to enhance it, because as we do more, we do better by our community, right? And people need to get over these false promises and get over themselves and the titles. Because, baby, I need not recognize you just when it's a yard sign. I'm going to let y'all catch that later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let
That's
you
for the
catch
people back there in the church that didn't listen. That's for the people back there in the church that didn't listen.
we out here hurting for real. I ain't got time to wait on no yard sign to tell me who you are. I need to see you. I need to know that you care. I need to know that you're providing these resources, but also that you're forming relationships that's going to tell us that we're here. Make us feel warm, welcome, and invited. You could have it, but how you going to treat me when I get there? Right. I don't have to worry about that with line for line, because I know who I'm dealing with. Character is everything. And I encourage others to do more, say less. You know what I mean? Show me.
Yeah, and it's always a slogan, and it actually speak, louder in words, man. And sometimes it be to my point to where my cup is empty. I don't have nothing to pour. Right, my cup is empty. But when I get to my office, I know that I wear different hats, so I have to continue to pour. And I'm instead of talking to this person and pouring into making them person happy, and at the same time, I say, God, my cup is empty. I don't have it no more. Yeah. And I realized, by me just steady pouring with nothing in it, they excited. They say, you know what, thank you for those words. And you have to come to yourself and think, how did I pour something and my cup is empty? My cup empty. It's just nothing left inside my cup to pour. And like Tangela say, I don't think some of y'all going to catch that in the back again. When you say, when your cup empty, you steady pour and pour to people when you don't have it. And you realize that you lighten them up, and when your cup is in, when you down, and you still lighten them up and giving them the energy and giving them the encouraged words to go on. So it have not always been great. It's been plenty of time, that it was there, but I never was a give up person. I always just was a fighter, man. And my team with the Line for Line program, my team at the Where's Property, I wouldn't be in this seat, and I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for them. And my parents and my mom and my family and my wife and them and what they have done for me.
Absolutely.
And I'm just always, I love delegating. Once I learn to try, you delegate, it don't make sense both of us being in the room trying to learn the same thing. Take that avenue trade and put it somewhere else, and you go do something else productive. Now you work on another master plan.
Yes, and you have been building a strong unit for many years and holding others accountable. And I want you to think of this as an extension of your office. This is a platform. If I have a mic, you got a mic. If I got a crowd, you got a crowd. If I got a problem, you got a problem too. You have to help me figure this out. You know? So here it is. We are working it together because it is important. But what is it that we could do to help Travis Dabney and Line for Line push that needle forward in the right direction?
Right. So hopefully we just come up with an event on Government Street. I don't know if y'all know, it was the church on Government Street. So we coming up with a Youth City Lab.
Wait, time out. I can't just let you slide past that. What is a Youth City Lab?
A Youth City Lab is 4 nonprofit organizations that's going to team up on one umbrella. It never had that in Baton Rouge ever. Thanks to a lot of our donors to put it together. Just to name a few of the nonprofits is Blue Cross Blue Shield has been tremendous in helping us fund the building. Line for Line is one of them. United AMP, Big Buddy Program, and Front Yard Bike. Yeah. So all us going to be on one umbrella. So if you feel that you need to come there to learn how to fix a bicycle, Dustin and those people that's there, you need how to
do a great job.
The partnership with the Big Buddy Program. Yeah. It's going to be under one umbrella. You need to know how to do the line for line. Like you want to go to college or something, how to be a barber or something. It's going to be one umbrella. So right now, we're still working on the financial part, but we are close to our goals, to hitting our goals to where we at right now. But I'm excited to be a part of that committee. I'm excited to be, because one thing about it, when we surveyed their neighborhood, and one of the things that the kids between 8 and 13 stated to us is that it's not enough to do for the youth.
How about that?
So we took that to the challenge.
The children that you need to serve.
We canvassed the neighborhood a couple of months, and we talked to them. We wanted to know. Just like you say, actions speak louder than words. And it's going to take us some time to get there, to get to where we at right now. But we're close to, hit our goals, and I'm excited. I can't wait to be a part of this here, because the only thing about it's like Christmas. When you get a new present, just to see the smile on those kids' face, and that's what it is. I don't need a piece of paper or a certificate saying, hey, good job, or I don't need a check. It just already is my award already there already. When you seeing somebody going through the same that you went through, and you can be able to help somebody out. So hopefully in 2024, that will come to light. We can have that Youth City Lab, to come out there, and it's going to be brilliant. You better become one umbrella to be a part of all this here in one room.
I love it. You know what? I encourage you to just keep that ball rolling. So many people, they want to help, and they just want to make sure that they're helping the right people with the right intentions. So here it is. Travis Dabney in the hot seat on the tan line, swinging like a champ. It ain't nothing to play. You know what I mean? He come up and say, this is what I do. We do the work daily. I'm going to talk about it today.
Right.
My boy, I am so proud. And just in case you're looking for something to do, I would strongly encourage you to go hang out at LaBerge, because one, I know it's safe.
Amen. To my church people.
Listen, it's safe because I know the security operations manager. And I know that they're going to do it in the spirit of excellence. And I'll be over there too, because y'all got some good food over there too, Travis.
Yes, we do. We do.
Who in charge of these recipes?
Well, we got our chef, executive chef Nick, and we have some of our vice president Sean Malone too as well, and Joe and them that constantly put these together. So, anything fried, we're going to put it inside the water and put it in the grease.
Anything. Hold on, wait. This is a complete sidebar. I was just there not too long ago because, we were doing the inauguration for Mayor Johnson of St. Gabriel. And when I tell you they had that thing decked out, I say, okay, LaBerge, I see you, LaBerge. And then I already knew it was going to be a safe night.
Yes.
Because I know the security operations manager, Travis Dabney. And listen, for more information on Line for Line, how do we contact you?
Yes, you can email me at travis.lbrlineforline.com, or you can follow us on Facebook or Instagram at lineforline.com too as well.
There it is. You be sure to hug the family for me. I know you got more work to do, so I'm going to let you chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me on the show. It's a great privilege, and I feel a part of it.